It's going.
Stream is
on
live.
Facebook. Yeah, fuck you. Go live, motherfucker. Well, I told it to go live. Hey, there we go. All right. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this is the last one of these. It's the last one of these.
Is this really?
Yeah, it's the last
I
one.
didn't know that.
Fucking been riding it fucking wet all goddamn fucking month. Can't wait to just get back to posting chapters. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is my buddy Pickle. He lended me his voice in Smoke Up Fairy Tales 2. Who'd you play? You played Fowler and DeLeon and Parris, the Russian guy.
Yeah, I thought Parris was in. Parris was in. Yeah, 2.
Yeah. The second one just wrapped up on YouTube. Like,
okay,
hasn't started yet.
Okay.
Yeah. We're ahead of schedule, man.
Oh yeah. See, for some reason, I thought like you were about to start dropping 4.
No, I'm about to start dropping 3. Fucking yeah.
Gotcha.
So none of all the bullshit has happened that they know about yet.
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, out of your books though, still my top favorite is 6 Pistols and a Dagger.
It is a good one. I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. There's others that I absolutely love. Was it Blood Makes the Grass Grow?
Yeah.
I mean, Chain Smoke Your Problems Away is good as well. Like, they're all of them are good.
Yeah.
But 6 Pistols and a Dagger, I can't wait for that one.
That one's gonna be fun to fucking make.
And I'm still convinced that I talked to you about this before. You need to do a sock puppet video for this. You have the voices. Now all you got to do is make the sock puppets. I will fucking make sock puppets for it. I don't know why I'm stuck on this, but I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I'm like, we need because like making it an animated thing, that's expensive.
I've been looking into it. Right now, it'd be expensive and a lot of bullshit. I don't think the technology is too far away, though. I think in the next 5 years, it'd be feasible to fucking do that on the zero budget we have. Also, do I echo to you, or am I just hearing that?
There's a bit of an echo, yeah.
Oh, that sucks. I wonder what's up with that. No, well, it'll get figured out. Or it won't. Fucking, I don't know. Where's the goddamn echo cancellation off? Echo cancellation on. All right. Well, fuck it.
Wait, turn it off again?
Hold on. Motherfucking goddamn dogs. Fucking cancellation. It's off now.
Say something.
It's back on. Now it's off. Now it's on. Fuck it. I don't give a shit.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't hear much of a difference, I guess.
Yeah, it'll be fucking whatever. So yeah. But yeah, fucking making bucks. Fucking we're heading into the it's weird because like on YouTube, like where people are watching this, like we're about to go into the third one, but fucking the third one's like pretty much fucking done. I got like one chapter I gotta fucking tighten up. And then we're rolling into fucking major change of pace.
Yeah. I don't know what all you've talked to me about some of this stuff going on after this, but I think I don't know how much you've talked about to other like the entire. Sometimes, and this is just me being completely honest, I will try to pay attention to about 30 minutes to an hour of your like when you go on live. But I also have other stuff to do as a dad. And everything else that I do. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'll just like put it on like my computer in the other room. And I'm like, all right, now I got to go do dishes. And I gotta be.
Well, I appreciate the fucking number.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you noticed sometimes in the comments, I'll even throw up and be like, it's like, I think I've actually said, like, I'll say a few things. And I was like, just commenting for the algorithm. And I'll just hit a couple more likes, hit a couple more like, of the exploding star things, and I'll be like, all right, let's go.
That is something that I think has been fucking good that TikTok has taught the I guess the audience community. Like, no, if you want more people to see this, you actually have to press like and comment.
Yeah.
But
long nose.
I got an update for you. I got your books. I got your box. I got your postcards. I got your stamps. I don't have your stickers yet, but as soon as the stickers come in, fucking be off in the mail. Hopefully it'll be by the end of the weekend. He got a box. So
I know. So your war crates, your war
Yeah.
chest, all that stuff. But the phrase "Hey, long nose, I got your box" is like out of context. If you don't know, turns into a really weird conversation.
I mean, well, I don't fucking know. Like maybe there's some Pinocchio thing going on, and like chicks shove his face between their crotch, say lie to me, get the news long. But, I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's something. Also, what we were talking about on TikTok with the video, I wasn't talking about the word problem with the fucking Sphinx. For all of y'all that don't know this, I am the DM for the D&D campaign that Trip is in right now. This is your first D&D campaign, but not your first interaction with fantasy. I'm assuming you also watch Xena.
A little bit, yeah.
Dude, I'm thinking about going back and rewatching it.
Dude, I got the box set for fucking
Really?
my birthday or Christmas. Yeah, dude, totally worth a rewatch. There's like 3 bad episodes, and those episodes are all musicals, so there's like, all right, skip. But there's also like 5 or 6 episodes where they said fuck the fourth wall and just ran with it. Like I think it's in the last season, but a reporter shows up with like a camera crew and shit, and then like no one acts like it's strange. They're just like, oh yeah, cool, we're in medieval fucking ancient fucking Egypt or Rome or wherever the fuck we're at, and there's a camera crew here in my fucking face asking me some bullshit questions.
Leave it, dog.
And that's like the plot of the episode. It was good.
I mean, so out of the whole musical thing, is me. I'm a big lover of musicals. I absolutely fucking love musicals.
Okay,
but some shows need to stay in their fucking lane.
Yeah.
And Xena, as much as like it's a, you know what? The only way you could make that a musical is if it's a curse, and they basically play into how much they hate it, and they're like, oh, but they're singing. They're just like, oh God, I gotta sing a dance. Then yes, but other than that, no.
I don't know if I've ever seen that. That'd be a fucking interesting twist on that.
I think I've seen that. Have you seen the TV show Lucifer?
I've seen like 1 episode.
Okay, first of all, there is an episode where God himself, comes down. God is the State Farm guy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, when you're in good hands. That fella, I don't remember his name. He is a very famous actor. I feel stupid that I don't know his name.
Yeah, he was the guy that Charlie Sheen got killed in Navy SEALs.
Yeah. So basically,
that's the Allstate guy, not the State Farm guy.
Yeah, Allstate. Jake from State Farm is someone else. Yeah, Allstate guy.
Yeah.
Are you in good hands? The deep, smooth voice, velvety even. But he goes and he has this. It's just an episode where like since God's there, God just likes musicals. So like Lucifer himself, who the actor can really sing apparently, which it's good. He plays Wicked Games on piano and sings it. So the devil is singing "What a Wicked Thing to Do," and it's just like, I highly recommend watching that part of it. But he's like, at the end of it, he's like, God, like he realizes his dad. It's just his dad's powers that is making him do that, and he just gets all angry and shit. And I'm like, all right, that's pretty funny. That's because he doesn't want to be singing about this stuff, but his dad is making it happen. So
nice.
But yeah, The Devil Solving Crimes, great show. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's over though too, right? Because that was on like what, 10 years ago?
No, it had a good couple seasons. They finished it, but they finished it in a way, and I think even someone from like the writers are like, hey, we left this off in a way where like we can technically always pick this back up.
Okay. So unlike Seinfeld, where they just like put everybody in jail.
Do you like Seinfeld?
I fucking love Seinfeld.
I don't.
Oh, well,
Like, The Crazy Neighbor was probably the only thing that was like worth it when watching. Just because, I'm from Southern Arkansas. I had relatives like that, a
little twitchy.
And not the legalize type of thing. Anyway, but no. Another one is Dexter. They ended that as he's gone, but then and then like the post scene credits. After the post scene credits of like bullshit, he's like, oh, he actually went to Alaska. They started the show again, like 10 years later. He's in Alaska, and there's now serial killers in Alaska, which I'm 100% believing there are serial killers in Alaska right now.
Fucking fun thing about Alaska was, did you ever see that movie, The Fourth Kind?
Yeah, like when it came out.
Yeah, well, anyway, for those who haven't seen it, it's a movie about alien abductions, and they marketed it off of like, hey man, this is based on a true story, and then I looked into it because I'm like, that's a freaky movie. What do you mean it's based on a true story? And it's like, well, a bunch of people went missing in Alaska, and the FBI came and investigated, and it turned out that since all this shit happened in the 70s or 80s, a bunch of dudes in Alaska got drunk, and instead of walking home, wandered into the woods and froze to death. And so many people did it. The FBI was concerned that, there was something going on. And then they just found drunk dudes frozen in the woods. And they're like, oh, okay. Yeah. All right, cool. So
serious problem there.
I mean, I'd imagine it's fucking cold there.
My cousin Scout Warner, she is a, what is it? It's not a sheriff. She's an Alaskan state trooper. That's it. Okay. She is, I believe, soaking wet 140 pounds.
Okay.
So, sometimes meth heads don't, and your normal crackhead. First of all, you're from Florida. Yeah. I'm from Southern Arkansas, and I've been around Louisiana. There's a type of Louisiana and Florida meth head that just ought not be messed with. Apparently in Alaska, they breed them even worse.
Oh, nice.
Because, like, you got to think about it. At least, like, you could go out shirtless in Florida. You go out shirtless for days on end in Alaska and still survive because of the meth. You're just a whole different. That's a superpower at that point. And so sometimes they don't take her seriously. I know she's had to use. I don't know what all can be said on your live streams, but she's had to use. Know. Okay. Well, let's test it. She's had to shoot a couple motherfuckers.
Okay.
And
we're still here.
Yeah. That live and time frame over there starts to disappear. I realize I said something. But no, she's had to use full force a couple of times. She's been on raids, like drug raids and shit, apparently, which are normally led by. Do you know who normally leads drug raids besides DEA in Alaska? Apparently.
No.
Which I knew this without like hearing it from her. This is actually from some Game and Fish.
Really?
Yeah. They have a lot of power in Alaska. They normally have a lot of power in every state because they're both state and federal agents.
Oh yeah, I guess so, huh? It's still weird that Game and Fish is doing raids, but all right.
Oh, dude, if it's pot, they're in it because it's nature. It's nature and wildlife. And you had to exterminate animals to get that fucking pot field to grow. So they are in it, and they get that, dude. That's what Game and Fish, and it's also the natural state. So you don't want them to fucking kill some endangered fucking goddamn porcupine on the way to raid fucking Johnny Crankass's fucking meth trailer.
That reminds me, I saw this documentary. I think it was called it was either Finding Bigfoot or Hunting Bigfoot or some shit. But there's this guy, and I think he was a reporter at Rolling Stone for a while. I'm not sure where he was reporting at, but like he'd been an investigative journalist his entire life. And when he was like in college or like right after, he fucking went and worked at a pot farm in Northern California, like in the fucking 80s, like back when that was like, shady fucking shit. And there was a bunch of dudes, Mexicans that came up, and the rumor was that fucking Bigfoot fucking killed him, right? And apparently what ended up being like hey, this is what happened, or what we can piece together, what we think happened, right? Because it starts off as like a Bigfoot hunting fucking documentary, right? Also, I've just noticed we've talked about Bigfoot on pretty much every one of these fucking live streams, and I'm not a Bigfoot guy. I don't know what the fuck the deal is, but here we are.
Did Bigfoot order a work rate? Just wondering.
I fucking wish. Anyway, it turned out what they think happened was this guy was running this farm, brought some Mexican dudes up, and then either the Mexican dudes it was a little unclear on whether or not they assaulted the owner's daughter or if he was just mad that the daughter was banging those dudes because, you know, like, hey, man, keep your Mexican hands off my girl or whatever. So what he does is he makes sure that those Mexican dudes are on the same shift as the like really bad tweakers, right? And this dude shows up dressed like Bigfoot with like a fucking sling blade and like murders the hell out of these Mexican dudes and like runs off. And then these tweakers freak out and tell everybody that Bigfoot killed these guys up in the mountains. And that was like his, all right, I didn't kill these guys. Bigfoot did.
I love that tweakers thinking your Bigfoot is the alibi for murder. You know, as many times, because I mean, you've been in the smoke pit where someone goes, how would you get away with murder? And everyone has ideas.
Yeah.
Just disguising as Bigfoot while there's tweakers around has never once came up.
Right? Like, I mean, because like you wouldn't have to do anything. They'll do all the fucking work for you. No, Bigfoot killed those guys. Right. And then what's going to happen, or what I would imagine would happen, is the cops that hear that story and be like, okay, these guys are tweakers. They don't know what we're talking about. A bear killed those guys.
Yeah. Or these guys are tweakers. They're trying to cover their own ass.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, either you're trying to interpret tweaker vision, which I'm going to patent that word. You're trying to interpret tweaker vision, or you're just going to start blaming the tweakers.
Yeah.
God, that's fucking brilliant. I like that. Please tell me the guy never went to prison.
No, like fucking the guy was unavailable for, you know, interview or whatever. It's still unsolved.
Okay, good. You know, shout out to my boy Lee from 2-7. If you know, you know. Which is funny. Had conversations with him. How would you get away with it? That's why I'm still convinced it was his wife. Because Lee knew exactly how he would get away with it. But you know, maybe heat of the moment. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways. It's all circumstantial too, because like, in my mind, I think the easiest way to do it would be like fucking, just fucking like black powder, fucking like pistols. Like have like 10 of them on a bandolier, show up, just smoke dudes. You know, with black powder pistols, because like, hey,
phrasing, just out here smoking dudes.
Yeah, no, and then like throw the fucking pistols in a river because they're like, what, fucking, you can get a black powder pistol for like, I haven't seen, like 2 years ago they were like $80.
Yeah,
carry, you know,
they're a little bit pricier now. 2 years ago, well, I guess the last time I actually saw a black powder pistol in a store was I went to this like really shitty Bass Pro Shop in Washington like a year and a half ago. But no, my opinion, which, you know, not trying to, I feel like this conversation is delving to, look, we're not condoning any of this. This is just
we are creative types. We are spitballing ideas for fictional literary works.
I mean, I'm working on something right now. So, you know, this has a lot to do with that. But 22 VMAX round, which my name is based on the semi-truck I drive, and I carry a Honda Grom motorcycle on the bike. Nice. Dude, I love Honda. Love me some Groms. I might have worked for Harley Davidson, but you know what? Still fucking love me a Honda. If it wasn't for Honda, we wouldn't have the Baja 1000. Just going to point that out.
Listen, I drove a fucking Rebel for a really long time, so.
Hell yeah, dude. Dude, I've had V-Star. Dude, here's the thing is I've had a lot of different types of motorcycles. But no, VMAX round, which is a hyper expansive round. Basically, once it hits whatever it is, it goes everywhere. So you're gonna have to have the best lab technician be able to piece this bitch together.
Yeah.
After it twists by bone and everything else. And then it's a 22. So I mean, you're good. It's not gonna break the sound barrier. If you have a suppressor or an oil can, screw it, on the end of something, just dude. And here's another thing: subsonic 22 Magnum bolt action VMAX rounds with an oil can suppressor or whatever you want. You're literally silent deathing it. Urban environment, you're golden. I'd say 100 yards, you're good. Most people, and I've learned this from the fact that I've been a hunter most of my life. Most people don't realize, one, how far 100 yards is. So no one's going to see you, because people look, naturally, they only look like 20 yards and like, oh, what the fuck is going on? That guy just dropped in. What the fuck is going on? Also, you being, I think you might have been in country. I don't know if you were in country at this time, but you were in the Marine Corps at this time. The dude, the Afghan sniper that was using the van with the knocked out tail light to basically use the tail light as a little hidey hole. He was hiding in the. Yeah, no, dude was literally in a van, like some shitty old, like tuk van, broken tail light. He basically would like position it where he'd just sit there and he'd take that shot, and like he's in a van, you're not, it's suppressing it. And I think he might have had a suppressor. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But the dude was fully deaf by the end of it. He was like a terror. It took forever for the U.S. forces, because no other country did anything in Afghanistan. It took the U.S. forces forever to figure out, like, this dude's in a van. Like, this dude is using a vehicle as cover. And just basically, he's just in the van, take his shot, maybe one or two more, get in the driver's seat, drive off. But even with the suppressor, the amount of expanding, basically it's pressurizing the cabin. Even with the suppressor, it's fucking your eardrums up.
Oh yeah.
So basically, dude was deaf by the end.
Fucking wasn't that what the DC sniper was doing? Something similar to that, except for like he was hiding in a trunk and he had like a hole cut out where it wasn't the tail light, it was the like key. Because like remember when cars used to have a key you had to unlock the fucking trunk with? Fucking 30,000 fucking years ago.
Just use a crossbow, bow and arrow. You're silent. Also, hatchet. Look, if I fucking come into your house, and I just hatchetify you, figure that, like, okay, cool. Like you can't, like, that's hard to, like, okay, he used a hatchet. Our best scientists can figure out it is the $15 hatchet from Walmart.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
It isn't even sharp. This is more of a bludgeoning object. Just happens to pry a little bit.
All right, we know he's right-handed. Good thing I am ambidextrous with a hatchet.
Yeah. So what started this? Well, apparently this is after you get caught. Like, so what started this? Well, apparently someone went on to his girlfriend's Instagram and commented wood. Like, wait, wood like WOOD? No, WOLD. He just doesn't know how to read. Huh. So that's why he had the hatchet. No, that's completely irrelevant to the conversation. Then why'd you bring it up? Well, it was a thorough investigation. All right.
What isn't there, like, just a massive Jabba? I believe. I think Longnose says Jabba is the name of the fucking sniper in Afghanistan that was doing that. Jabba, Haba ha. But no, there's like a large amount of I'm not saying, again, just for research purposes for future books. There is. Oh, it was Iraq. There you go. There was a large amount of unsolved murders across the U.S., like the percentage of actually solved murders. And then also cops, as soon as they arrest someone, they just assume the first person they arrest is the guilty person. So they try everything they can to prove that person's guilty rather than, using evidence, like following evidence. Like most police work is whoever you assume is bad is the bad person.
Yeah, and like there's so many fucking shows I've seen, true life documentary, fucking true crime shit, where it's like, oh, the cops just lucked into the fucking evidence. They didn't like hunt that down. They just like it fell from God in front of them, and that's how they caught the guy.
Or you could tell this is going to be one of those cold cases, but the person just feels remorseful because they're actually a good person that got put in a bad situation. And it's like, well, and now they're serving life, even though they turned themselves in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, fucking, I don't know. They're out there, but like, I'm sure it would be harder now to get away with it than it would be, 100 years ago. But like, just maybe wear hand condoms. I mean, gloves.
Missing 511. Look at all the missing people in the national parks. They don't keep a record of them, dude. First of all right. Speaking of parks, this is taking a weird shift change. Back to cryptids, though.
Okay.
Last week, me and Jamie, my girlfriend, we were out hiking in Appalachia. And one of the trails, which we're just, we're walking. It's a fun day. There's the embankment to our left is almost straight up. Like, it is inhumanly possible to walk up that. Up into some bushes, you see this moaning of pain, and it almost my first thought when I looked over there is the initial thought, which is I don't know what side of me said, "Oh shit, someone might be hurt," and then
not someone's banging.
Not someone's bang. It was not that type of banging.
Oh, okay.
Space cat. I like that name. This was the type of noise that goes you're okay, someone's injured or something. Yeah. And then the next I don't know what the other side. Maybe it's I've been in the woods long enough to know I've spent most of my life in different wooded areas. Probably not something I need to fuck with. Because I know the trail didn't go up and there is no trail above us, so it's not like someone fell. First of all, if you try to walk up that you deserve to get fucking hurt, because no, that's stupid. So I've got a 1911 on my hip, and I'm like, ooh. And me and Jamie even said hey, on our way back, if we hear that again, we dip out, gone. But yeah, don't respond to it. If you're in Appalachia, don't fucking. It's not like the Midwest. You can't scream at the cryptids in Appalachia.
Yeah.
Which apparently in Pennsylvania they pronounce it Appalachia. And I'm gonna headbutt them.
We pronounce it Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Oh god, that's good. Jamie could probably hear me in the other room, but I'm gonna fucking bring that up. Which, if anybody's interested, I found 100 acres next to Lexington, Kentucky. I would like to start a cult.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What's the cult going to be?
Well, I'm not sure exactly what deity we might worship, but I am thinking it's going to be we're going to do a lot of our own homesteading and gardening as cults should. Yeah. And I'm going to say where we turn your depression into vegetables and militant ideas.
And all we need is for you to give us your soul. And by that, we mean leave your shoes at the front door.
I'm telling you right now, I know for a fact you want this to work, and it is a clever idea.
For those of you at home in the D&D campaign we're in right now, I got stuck in the Fey realm, and what was the devil guy? What was he?
I mean, he was a devil guy.
Okay, so there was a devil guy, and he was like, "I can get you out of here." I actually said a bunch of other shit. And I was like, "Hey, I need to get out of here," and he's like, "Well, I can get you out of here if you give me your soul." And I was like, "All right." So he opens the door, and I give him my shoes because they have souls. And you know what? It was a verbal contract, not a written one. So that devil guy is gonna have to fucking lawyer up.
So what it was either he has to, one of the party has to give up their souls. Just freely give up a soul, or I think you'll have a month to get 10 souls freely given. They cannot coerce or force. They have to be freely given. Which can shoes be freely given?
Yeah, I freely gave those shoes.
Did the shoes give themselves freely?
That's up to the fucking courts to decide, buddy.
Well, anyway,
D&D hell fucking damnation fucking goddamn lawyer up, motherfucker.
This is when the president's also the judge in this lawyer case. So you're not winning, bud.
Third party arbitration.
That's fair. Which is funny because since Jamie is another person in the D&D campaign, she's my girlfriend. She knows what y'all would have found in the Feywild with if y'all hadn't struck that deal, if y'all just said fuck it, we're just gonna walk, which I also thought y'all might do. That's why I had a couple other scenarios lined up. This deal didn't actually have to happen. That's why, like, I just thought I'd offer it up there. I thought for sure Dylan was going to give up his soul.
I mean, he's wanted to do that because what the fuck's he need it for?
Yeah, no, he don't care. He is the party's chaotic fucking character. Out of all, like, I have to rein him in so fucking much sometimes.
Well, the other thing though too is like I was playing this thing the whole time under the assumption I was supposed to be like fucking lawful good, and I looked at my shit. I'm like, no, I'm chaotic good. I'm allowed to be an asshole. I'm gonna start being an asshole.
Yeah, you're an asshole, but you got to be an asshole to achieve a good ending.
Yeah, and fucking the devil out of a fucking legal deal sounds like a fucking good thing.
Yeah, that is fair. No, but the Sphinx wasn't the riddle. I was talking about the word riddle. The word riddle was the original one at the fucking sorcerer's fucking tower that y'all went to. The smash riddle with a letter. Yeah. Dude, the fact y'all failed that so successfully, it pissed me off. Which, if y'all don't understand, basically it was a word problem where each level of the tower was a different letter. It was like S for star, M for mat, A for alchemy, and it was an S for shield, H for hug with the creepy doll. And then like it was like all the riddles in, I forgot how I worded it, but it was like all the riddles in one or whatever the fuck, and there's a mirror. And they just got fed up and broke the mirror, and that's the answer was smash. You failed it successfully, but like, oh my god, the only one of those that y'all got right like quickly was the shield one. But like the rest of them just pissed me off so fucking bad.
Yeah. I also though do appreciate how every once in a while something will come up and you'll like have just read one of the last 3 books because the last 3 are effectively fucking fantasy. And it's like, all right, well, I can't do that in here because Tripp's got a really fucking creative answer for that. Like, not a big spoiler. Hank is in a dream, right? So this doesn't actually apply to the plot. But he does the thing where he comes up and there's 2 doors and there's 2 guards, and one of them only lies, one of them only tells the truth. And Hank doesn't have time for their shit, so he just starts beating the shit out of them and then follows the one that he doesn't kill through the door that he goes through.
Yeah, no, I definitely was not going to put that. And you have no idea how hard was it. Alistair, what's his last name?
Murdanus.
Yeah, Murdanus, Mundi, whatever the fuck his name is. That, you know how hard it is not to implement him. Now that I know that, like, I'm just thinking of that character. It's like, which in D&D it's even funnier. Imagine someone that doesn't have magic that's claiming to be a sorcerer or warlock in D&D. Holy fuck, that's even better. Which is only second to the idea of an atheist in D&D. Because when you think about it, like most D&D, there are people that literally get divine powers as part of their job. Their 9 to 5 is getting powers from a god.
You know what? That sounds like a really good fucking... Remind me next time we do a new campaign, or like once we're done with these characters, remind me that you want my character to be a militant atheist, and I'm just going to go around telling people there's no god, and then we'll have one of the other characters be a cleric, and I'll just call him a fucking idiot the entire fucking time.
So the best way I've heard it is they have to be the like hardcore turn the frickin' frogs gay goblins conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
where it's like no. There's because it's like they keep using the fact that sorcerers get magic from a bloodline.
Yeah,
to basically be like no. Like magic's in the blood, not this. This is you're imagining.
You're getting your powers from drinking adrenochrome from babies.
Yeah, no, that is one of my which it's even better if that person's also a sorcerer. Or I've heard warlocks that have forgotten their deal with their patron and are basically they've forgotten, but they like, so maybe their warlock has to give gold a certain amount of gold every month to their patron, which that's a type of deal you can make as a warlock. It doesn't always have to be souls and dead babies. It can be if you want.
What's up, Pop?
See him patiently waiting over here, just like waiting to be loved on. It's because he's a good boy. Yeah, no, he's not even looking at me. He's looking away like, I'm not going to bother you. But no, but like, so basically you just keep like throwing a gold coin every now and then into a void. And you don't know why you do it. You're just like, huh. And you forget that you even do it. And people will bring it up and be like, you're crazy. I'm not fucking doing that.
Just like fucking,
yeah.
Kind of like if you're picking your nose in public. Why are you picking I'm not picking my nose.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. I had an itch. On the outside, you just saw it. You just saw it weird. That's what's going on, boy.
But yeah, no, that's I've heard of it that way. I've heard it as a sorcerer, and then I've just heard it as like a fucking fighter who just like basically the person's like, look, I'm over here taking on fucking bad guys too, and I'm not tricking people with mystical arts from some deity. Fucking posers. It's a funny idea, mainly because it's you essentially become the flat earthers of your realm.
Yeah.
So
which those people are a fucking ride. Which I'm still not convinced that they're not all just trolls. Like it's really fucking committed trolls. Like I'm sure there's one or two that aren't, but there's no way that didn't get started by somebody that was like, hey, you're gonna be funny.
Okay. So my dad gave me some advice years ago, which is never underestimate how stupid a person can be. Which was also followed up with, which if you knew my dad back in the day, like he is a much different man now. He's a very good guy, but back in the day, he was this gruff, angry man. But it was never underestimate how stupid a person can be. And they might not be doing this maliciously. They might just be that stupid. So, sometimes you just gotta like that's what I have to think about that while driving in this town so fucking much. It's a military base next to a major city. And people just suck. So you'll be driving and people are just like, fuck. Like they'll cut you off and like flip you off. I'm like, dude, this isn't even New York. There are better drivers. I can go to Chicago right now and there are so much better drivers. Honestly, I'll take LA traffic over some of the shit in this town. But they'll be like, fuck you. They'll get upset. And if you're like, there's been like people getting in shootings. So like, look, you don't want to get in a shooting with me in traffic. I either have the 1911 or a 357.
So fucking this is when I was driving from Quantico to 29 Palms, and I was in New Mexico somewhere, and I'm in my Corvette. It's the middle of the fucking night. I'm on the fucking highway. I'm the only car on the fucking interstate, right? I'm driving. This other car comes up, pulls up next to me, gets in front of me, gets behind me, gets beside me, does the vroom vroom thing, back and forth, and I kind of like flipping the bird and telling him to like shoo. So he goes in front of me a little bit, then back and keeps doing the fucking thing. And then he rolls down his window and goes, and then I go, and then like he fucked off. I don't know why he's driving.
Dude, this happened a while back actually. This is several months ago. Recently when I moved into this house. So we have a Publix like right around the corner.
Did you get Publix that far north?
Yeah, dude.
Nice,
and
nice.
I live like a fucking eighth of a mile from a Publix. I'm bougie now. Dude, I went from a cabin in the woods to next to a Publix. I fucking
I grew up in Florida. I fucking love Publix, man. Like, cause like people be like, well, what do you like better, fucking Subway or Quiznos? It's like, dude, we have a Publix.
Pub Sub.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Dude, honestly, didn't know about Pub Subs. I had Publix not that far from me. Jamie introduced it to me, and I'm just like, all right, I fuck with it. But no, all right. So I'm pulling out of one of the parking spots. I'm literally like, my bumper's the last thing coming out. Someone comes hauling ass up in like some Nissan Altima, of course. And just like fucking just starts hammering the horn as if I'm almost completely out. I technically could pull forward, but I don't want to get that close to the other truck. So I'm like, I'm going to pull out the last 3 inches and pull forward. But like, as if I need to pull back in and let them go. I'm like, dude, if it's an emergency, you better have a police escort because I'm not the fucking guy.
Yeah.
So I start pulling forward and I stop to turn out of the thing and they come up right on me. and the dude gets out. So, you know, I'm fucking whoop, grab 357. Taurus 605 Poly Protect. Absolutely love this gun because there's a hump in where there's a hammer, so nothing can actually fall between the hammer. But since it's a hammer fire, if I had like a brick, I can still make this thing fire if there's like a failure in the trigger. So, you know, I love me a good revolver. Dude just comes up to the fucking window, like, and I roll down the window when he walks up, and he is heated. He's like, ah, and I just like, get the fuck back in your car. And like, because I'm like, this is about like, because no sane person walks up to someone's window like that over a parking lot incident. So I'm like, at this point, I'm like, if he's walking up here, there is something going on in his brain. There's he just like, he's like, oh, and he fucking, he goes back to his car very like, he's like, oh shit, like he's scared. And here's my thing is, I don't think people are getting hit in the face enough because people would be getting bold.
Yeah, fucking that's definitely gone by the fucking wayside. Like fucking society was a lot more cordial when like fucking there was a very real chance of you getting hit in the face with a fucking axe at the end of the conversation if you don't mind your P's and Q's.
Yeah, or like, you know, you didn't catch a felony for popping someone for just getting that fucking uppity.
Yeah.
So another good example of that is, so I worked at Harley Davidson for a nice little stint there. About 7-8 months, something like that.
Was it that long?
Yeah, dude, I'd been working there a while.
Oh yeah, I guess so, huh? Yeah. So a big thing that happened was one of the technicians. There's a whole situation where I was like on we have like this back area of the Riding Academy course, and I went back there because I was supposed to be doing a photo shoot of one of the clothing girls wearing, you know, the clothes. With the new lineup of clothes, I was bringing around. I think I had one of the brand new off the line 2024s in this fucking burst blue with a blacked out engine. It was a Street Glide, very gorgeous bike, absolutely love it. Actually, a friend of mine bought it, and like I go back there and I'm like, hey, there's some bikes there. I was like, I don't think I should be back here, but there's no one out here. But I don't know if the course is going on at the moment. And then some person's yelling up there, and I see the fucking clothing girl like, hey, come this way. And I was like, all right, cool. So I turned the bike around, and I was like, all right, cool. And this dude's like, you're like, you stupid motherfucker. And I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, what the fuck? Like, I noticed that a lot around this business was a lot of people, they'd get real big chests. I'm like, hey, like, and I had it like that guy. I told him, I was like, hey, if you ever want to talk to me like that again, just clock out and we're going to step off property. Like, that's all we have to do. We're like, and like, I'm not a mean person. I'm not like, I used to be a mean little shit, but like now I'm a lot more. I was like, look, but I'm never paid enough to deal with this type of like shit. Like, no, we're not doing this. Because if you do this on you do this on this month, you're going to do this next month, then you're going to do it next week, then you're going to do it tomorrow. Right. Then you're going to do this every hour. And I'm not playing this fucking game. And like, I also had another salesman who got all big chested and was like, oh, the fuck. He started getting real shitty with me, trying to start problems. I was like, all right, cool. And I told him, I was like, hey, I don't want us to be one of those coworkers. Yeah. We will clock out. We will walk off property. And if you want me to throw the first punch so you can claim self-defense, just tell me, because I'll make it happen. But if not, don't raise your voice at me. Don't fucking insult me. Because if I have to drag you off property, I'm getting my money's worth. Because I already know I'm getting assault. I might as well make it a really good story. I might as well get headlines so that I can get TikTok clout to pay for bail. Yeah. And like, but no, you know what's funny though is when you get real with someone. There was probably 3 people at that dealership that I had made that comment. One of them was this, like, she'd been selling Harleys for 27 years. Before that, she had fucking managed restaurants for like 30 years. And she's an old lady. She's a badass bitch. Billy, cool as shit. And she's like, I'd step out back with you. And I go, Billy, I'm not gonna lie. If I stepped out back with you, I feel like you'd shoot me. She goes, fuck yeah, you're bigger than me. I'm not gonna fight you. I'm too old for that. I'd just shoot you back there. And I go, fuck you. But loved the honesty. This was a real lady. Like, she is a real human being.
And then you come up against these people that a lot of the technicians in the back, they get in these shouting matches, and then they're like, my dick's bigger because I have this cert, and mama, they're like, just pop in the face. That'll solve your fucking problem.
Yeah. Well, the other thing though is like fucking after you went to fucking jail for assault and battery and getting your money's worth out of it. It's like, all right, so you're getting charged with assault with a deadly weapon. What was a deadly weapon? Well, okay, so behind the dealership is a sex store. Your Honor, I beat them with a $2,000 sex doll. Like, wait, what? Yeah, no, it's got like an auto blow in the mouth. Like, everything's fully functional. I really fucked his face up with that fucking sex doll's pussy.
You know, which
I broke that on that ass.
If I saw that in the headline, I would laugh my fucking ass off. A lot of people like that are now because of social media, because you can't get your mouth popped through the phone. You know, I agree. I think social media has given people a lot more balls than they need. But also, I do think it is, which, you know what, you hit someone because they're gay, I hope you fucking stay in jail. You hit someone because they're a different skin color, I hope you fucking stay in jail and get molested in jail. You hate crimes, that's one thing. I just got an interjection from a much older soldier.
No, just an interjection from a much older soldier. I'm really enjoying fairy tales, interesting, amusing, and hard hitting at times. Like, hey, glad you like the stories, Barry.
It's a good, I think it has to do with like the fact that I believe every adult, man or woman, that whatever the fuck you want to be, I don't give a shit. It's not my fucking life, not my pig, not my farm. But once you turn 18, I think everyone should at least be popped in the mouth really good, because it lets you know where on the. It's good for character. Trauma makes the best comedians. But I think it lets you know where you're on the scrotum pole of life. Am I about this? Or...
Did you say the scrotum pole of life?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Just want to make sure.
But
for anyone that might have missed that.
Yeah, no, I believe if you know where you're at on that pole, on said pole of scrotum, because if you're at the bottom and you're like you get popped in the mouth and you fold, that's a good indication that you shouldn't you shouldn't step up. You shouldn't. You're not that guy in the front. You're not that guy or gal or fucking thing. I don't give a shit if you're whatever. But if you get popped in the mouth and you're like, all right, fucking let's go. All right, cool. And this is coming from someone that has lost a lot of fights. My mouth has got me into a lot of shit.
There's two people who haven't lost a fight: liars and people who haven't been in a fight.
That's right. You got to know how. Getting the shit kicked out of you is a good life lesson. Which it is, depending on who you are and like what's going on and everything else. It could be very traumatic. And there was times where some of the times it was traumatic, but there's other times where it taught me, hey man. Maybe you just stepped in there too fair. Because I've stepped into a fight when I was real young. And this was a long time ago in San Diego. I was a very young dude. It was a college party at fucking one of the fucking bullshit places I was at. And I'm probably 19. I stepped up and I got this shit kicked out of me because I went into that fight fair. What I should have done was picked up a fucking brick, which from my younger days I knew. But I started having this sense of honor. First of all, you're walking to a fight. Honor left the room.
Yeah.
Honor left the room when that guy decided he wanted to take your teeth out of your face. Because you could smile with honor if you still got teeth. But no, I'm a believer. You got to get popped in the face. You got to lose some fights in the world. Because shit's hard. Shit sucks. And, that's just kind of how it works. But I don't know if you've read The Leviathan or know anything about, I believe it's Hobbes that wrote The Leviathan.
I know about the mythology of it. I don't know.
No. This is it's a book about society. Basically, we trade natural born rights for protection, but the only people that receive protection are typically weaker people, which we should protect the weak. That is, that's what a society does.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you start losing more and more rights, and you give them up, and you sacrifice these rights. Because my right to just pop someone that just says some stupid shit, I think that's a right. That's a human right. You just knock someone in the face.
Yeah.
But you give that up so that, someone just doesn't walk up to you in a grocery store and go, bow, because that would suck.
Yeah. Well, the other thing, though, like going to rights, though, is like rights are fucking made up. Like that's an us thing. They're not real. Fucking nature in the universe does not fucking care about anything at the fuck all.
Yeah. You fucking survive, and that's it. It's good. I mean, it has its places. But, no, I mean, is it... Yeah, but now you got to worry about if the guy is going to shoot you. That happens a lot. So as far as shooting, my dad gave me my dad's given me some good advice along the years. If you're going to get in a fight, right? This is paraphrasing his thing. You got to hit him. And when you hit him, you keep hitting him so fucking hard that when he comes to, he doesn't think about getting a gun. He doesn't think about fucking getting, like, you escalate that level of violence so far past what he's ever prepared to deal with that he doesn't think about, like, the thought of coming after you doesn't cross his mind. And you got to hit that level. Like, you got to go from 0 to 100. You have to hit that level immediately. And that's how you defend yourself, is you go well past what they're ready to do.
Yeah.
And, I think that's appropriate. Because shit sucks, Right. I've hit a guy a couple times and the dude fucking pulls a knife. And you know what I did? I fucking ran. And I don't run. My ass does not like cardio. Yeah. I just lift weights, dude. I'm just like, but I fucking booked it. I fucking hauled ass. Because I've been stabbed both accidentally and on purpose. And I'm not trying to relive that.
It's not a pleasant feeling.
No.
Like, and I haven't been like stab, but like, fucking a pin or an X-Acto knife is fucking enough. It's like, let's not do that again.
Yeah. I got stabbed in the fucking arm. One of my tattoos actually covers it. And I've also accidentally sliced my own hand open. Look, whether you're getting sliced or stabbed, it fucking sucks. And then the stitches later. And if it's rusty and you haven't had your tetanus shot,
dude, I fucking cut my hand open bad, like down to the bone fucking once. And it was the dumbest fucking shit ever. So I'm working on my fucking Corvette, right? And thankfully, my barracks is right next door to the fucking BAS, right? And there's a short somewhere in the fucking Corvette, and the passenger fucking chair just like keeps going forward and the motor won't stop. And like, my dumbass didn't think to just unplug the fucking battery. So what my smart ass did was I put on a leather glove and like got a piece of fucking like metal in my hand so I could just yank the wire out, and then that metal in the glove would protect me. Well, the fucking metal slipped, and leather does not do much for fucking electrical wire when you're fucking yanking it out.
No. What the fuck? You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah. So I go to the BAS. And like I'm standing in line, and they're like, yeah, next one. Hey, can I skip this guy? And everybody's like, oh fuck, yeah, come on back, buddy.
So, one of the times I fucking sliced my fucking hand open, which is I had to get fucking mad stitches for it on this hand. You probably won't see it on. Yeah, the lighting sucks. So I was line staff over the rifle and pistol range in 29 Palms. One of the things I like to do is every now and then on like fucking Fridays, I like to send my dudes just home and just have the NCOs fucking stay there and reface targets. Cause I've been that guy that's refacing targets, and it sucks. And you're just like, yeah, you could get it done faster with a big group, but hey, whatever. And we turn the fucking radio up. We're fucking jamming. It's just a bunch of me, Eggleston, fucking, I think was his name, like Rise or some shit. And they're like, a couple of fucking people. We're just, we're ripping targets. We're having a good time. And then I'm talking and ripping, and all of a sudden, whoop, my hand had slipped, and a carpentry staple just goes whoop and whop. And I look, how bad you got to cut yourself to look into tendons and muscle. and you have that second before it starts bleeding, and I just go boom, and I squeeze, and I'm like, oh shit, and I was like, I just fucked up, and then like, and you know, like your hand goes cold, and I at this point I still didn't feel pain, and I go, this is gonna hurt. I had enough time to look into it, clamp down, and say, this is gonna hurt. And then I just go, oh, and then it comes in waves of pain of like, you fucked up.
Yeah, I cut this much of my finger off when I was a kid.
How much?
Like this. I got a scar. Fucking next time we're around, I'll show you. But it goes around my fucking finger. But anyway, fucking, I'm like 10 or 11, and I'm trying to make a fort for my army men. And I have this electrical cord that's not plugged into anything. So I kind of like stick it in an Altoids can. That's like the generator. I'm like, well, it's got to plug in somewhere. So I go to like make a fucking electrical socket in a tree. I'm trying to carve out an electrical socket shaped thing to plug it into. And I'm using a fucking folding knife that when I jabbed it, it decided to fucking close. And it was like, ah! but I have a finger now. I still play guitar. It's nice.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, well, when I went in, so I have this thing which I've had people talk shit about it before, but I don't know how to like express when I'm in like actual pain because like, you know, it's like growing up, like I was a farm kid for a while. Before that, I was a kid back in the sticks. You know, you get hurt, you suck it the fuck up. So sometimes when I get hurt really bad, which Jamie saw this when I sliced my fucking finger while reading because I wanted to get back to your book, I just start giggling. I start laughing, and I don't like. I'm like, look. I'm not trying to make fun of this, but and I express it weirdly, and I don't know what sort of trauma response that's called from some weird childhood thing, but like I'm just like, I get to the fucking was it Bush? Whatever, the hospital on 29 Palms, like Bush, whatever the fuck. Yeah. And I get there, and they're like, okay, and like the lady out there is like, hey, you need to fill this out. I was like, I'm keeping blood in my hand right now. And she's like, what? I go, this, and just, and she's like, and I just go that, and I'm like, yeah, and she's like, now. She just gets me back there, and they're just like over there. All right, so they start, you know, they hit it with the injections and shit, and they're like scrubbing it, and they're like, you're doing very well, and I'm laughing and making jokes, and they're like, dude, like you're doing great, and I was like, look, I'm not doing great. This hurts a lot, but I don't know how to deal with this. I'm like, this is bad. And they're just like, they're like, oh yeah, no, and then they tell me like if the carpentry staple had like went like slightly a different angle, they're like, we would have had to been reattaching the tendon for your thumb. I'm like, nice. Fun. I was like, that's what I saw, because I remember seeing like a tendon there. I was like, that's what I fucking saw. Because how often do you get to see your own tendon? Hopefully not that often.
Not too often. No, I knew this chick a while back, and fucking, she was telling me this story, and like it was like one of those, like she was laughing about it, but I just felt bad for her. But she has almost self-deleted like 5 or 6 times, and never because she was trying to kill herself, just because like she's clinically fucking insane. And like one time she was taking a bath, and you know, she was shaving her legs. She was like, I wonder what it looks like inside of there. So she starts cutting her fucking leg up just to like dig around. Oh, that's neat, blah, 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 whatever. Then her husband comes home, and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, dude, you know it does this? And he's like, okay, stay there. 911. Yeah, hey, yeah, I'm tying up. Why are you tying a belt around my fucking thigh? Shut up. Yeah, no, I need to get my house now.
Okay, I need like 10 seconds, probably 20 to go piss real quick.
Okay, he's gonna go piss. I'm gonna sit here and fucking talk. Thank you everyone for tuning in to the show. This is the last one of these live streams we're doing for now. So what is it? Smoking Fairy Tales 2, Sing Goddess Threat the Fonz, wrapped up at the beginning of the month, I think. So now we're talking to the voice actors. This is Pickle. He played who did he play? He played DeLeon, Fowler, Parris, and I think one or two other like small guys. And then the third book, the first chapter, is going to hit YouTube Wednesday. What's today? Today's Thursday. Yeah, so like 6 more friggin' days, and then we'll be rocking and rolling on fucking book 3. And Pickle here does return as Fowler, playing him again. And it's going to be a good time. I got like 1 chapter left to fucking edit, and then it'll go up on Audible too. But like we're doing some cool shit with the fucking third book. It's going to be a good friggin' time. You guys are really going to fucking enjoy it. And then we're already starting to fucking like rock and roll into, well, we're not rocking and rolling on the 4th book yet. I'm still getting voices together for that. But on this end, behind the curtain, on the other side of the fucking camera, we are we're a bit into the future on the production line. And then, hey, Barry, you have a good one. See you around. But yeah, it's going to be a good time.
What I miss?
Oh, I was telling them that fucking we finished up the 2nd book. We're going into the 3rd one.
Yes.
So.
Which is exactly what this stream is about, as we have talked. I don't
fucking manage these fucking things, man. I just let them go wherever. Like, see, the other thing though is like most of the people working on this are like either fucking my writer friends, military Marine Corps friends, or like internet friends. Most of which I've never met in real life, and the others of which I don't actually see that often. So this is actually like the whole audiobook thing is actually a big scheme to make people sit down and talk to me for a couple hours.
That's fair. Which 2 things. One, to this day, I'm still fucking surprised that we didn't meet each other in Landers. Like you said, Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, either that or Pappy and Harriet's at the fucking bowling alley. Like,
which there's also a good chance you're just sitting over there and I'm sitting over there. Because sometimes I was
just were fucking packed, man. Because like fucking like the bowling alley was like the the Palladium in Suriname.
Yeah.
Like fucking that was like this one of the smaller fucking establishments around there, but it was fucking packed. And if you go to fucking Pappy and Harriet's, if there's 100 people there, it's a slow night.
Dude, I'd sing at the fucking Palladium during karaoke's. Bubba shot the jukebox every fucking time. I'd be like, fuck it. And I, get fucking 6 or 7 shots into me, a couple beers deep, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm singing Bubba Shot the Jukebox.
Yeah.
Every time. I'd go to the Virginian a lot.
I think I only went to the Virginian a handful of times.
I liked it. It was one, like my house was, okay, so Palladium was here. My house was here. You know that street that was in front of there's the main highway type road thing that went through there. And there was the road that went to 29 Palms. And there's this road right there. That road right over behind a bunch of fucking stores. I used to have a house right there. So I literally could walk to Palladium or to fucking the Virginian. It was like, no matter how drunk I got, I could just take a couple steps. And I'm like, I'm at a bar. Really hurt the pocketbook. I was going there all the time.
As one does. And also along those, I will keep doing these between books. Between every book, once it's done, I'm going to take a month off to do these. So there will be more of these, just not
nice.
for a while. Although I'm thinking about in the 4th book doing a mid-season one. I won't stop posting chapters, but because the 4th book's fucking 40 chapters long, and it's going to take 8 months to do. It's going to be like, hey, what's up, guys? Let's do
Is that your longest book? I feel like it's your longest book. I could probably look over here and tell you that it is the.
It's thickest. It's the longest. It's got the highest word count, most chapters in it. Like,
so is there a difference? Do you have a 2nd edition of your first book?
Yeah, you're holding the 2nd edition.
How? How do I know if I'm holding the 2nd edition?
The 1st edition is the cover's black. There's a picture of me smoking a cigarette on it.
From your, I've seen the picture too.
Yeah, it's on the side. That the little fucking author picture used to be the fucking front cover. Yeah,
fair enough. Okay. No. I was wondering about that. No, I feel like I love your live streams. If I can give a fucking critique of your live streams, which is weird doing this mid live stream.
Whatever.
There is not enough engagement in the comments.
Well, I mean, what am I gonna do about that, man? I only got 500 fucking followers. I mean, it's not like fucking I got a million fucking people just throwing super chats at me or some shit. But in the future, sure. Hopefully by next time. I mean, we'll see.
Also, I don't know if you know this. You can apply to do it, which they will give it to you. It'll just take like 2-3 weeks. You can apply to have live streams from your computer onto TikTok, which yours you would have to be very mindful because I had several times. Long nose is obviously engaging.
Long nose was up.
Yeah, no. Long nose, you're doing all the good things.
Yeah.
But
Tom's usually pretty fucking good in the comments. Yeah. He's probably at work.
But you can apply through their TikTok Studio thing. It's in the app. They'll send it to your computer, your email, and then you put it on your computer, whether you have a MacBook or a fucking real computer. And that it works out. I will have to say, so I used to do streaming video games on TikTok back when I had a slightly different career. Porn. And it was I will say I made better money on that than I did on Twitch. I've never had any following on YouTube. But out of all of it, it was always TikTok.
I think you have to have 1,000 followers on TikTok to go live at all. But I've got a lot more than that. No, I only got 500 followers on YouTube.
That's it. Yeah, no. So you should be able to. All you got to do is tell them that you stream mostly on these other apps and you want to stream on TikTok. The thing, though, what I found is middle of playing Elder Scrolls, and I'm doing great. I've got a couple hundred people watching me, and I say some things about one of the bosses. And those insults. Oh, what's up, buddy? Those insults hit their algorithm wrong, and I'm banned from streaming. I appeal it, and then like fucking 30 minutes later, I can stream again. But I've already lost the momentum.
Yeah.
Which I think I told you about this, but the best stream I had, I'm playing Elder Scrolls. I'm fighting the fire giant. I'm fucking going off and I'm screaming and yelling and we're fucking having a good time. And I beat him and I look up and there's like 700-800 people watching me. And in the comments, which I'm getting comments of like, this guy fucking, all this stuff. Cause I'm over here just talking shit while I'm fighting it. Cause this is playthrough number like 7, I think.
Right. And you got to make it entertaining because nobody wants to just watch somebody play a video game. Yeah. They're there for the commentary.
I'm not good enough to just play a video game and people like, I got to talk shit. Yeah. Your narrator, who is a YouTuber that makes a living doing video game stuff. He was an army guy. I think he was like Nick Ortiz and him do some videos. He's part of the boys group. He does a lot of VR gaming. This dude goes, that was great. I absolutely love it. I'm like, then at first I was like, you're not the real your narrator. And then he's like, no, I am. And he's like, don't worry, I'm going to show you. And I'm like, all right. And I tell people like, this is the real narrator. And I'm watching the numbers because, I just finished a boss fight and I'm like, all right, good. We got this next thing coming up, blah, blah, blah. And, now the boss fight's over. People are starting to leave. And I go down to like about 200 people watching. And I'm just, which still to me, I'm not fucking slouching at those numbers. That is still good numbers. Fucking goddamn 20 people, fucking 2 people, 1 person's a good number. Fuck it. Someone's interested in your stuff. But like, I go on my social media and I'm on the fucking Instagram and the official Your Narrator Instagram with the fucking goddamn check mark. Yeah. So it like follows me on that and everything else. And he goes, I told you I'm the real narrator. And I'm like, that is a fucking power move. And I chat with him for a little bit and shit. He's like, dude, just keep it up. He's like, you're doing great. And I'm like, thank you. I was like, holy fuck, that's wild. And then like a month later, I deleted all my social media. So
like that.
Yeah.
And social media is a weird fucking beast too. Because like I know some people that like fucking like just recycle it once a year, like fucking maybe not once a year, but like once every year or two, where it's like delete everything, start from zero again. And then, hey guys, I'm back. I'm like, dude, is this really you? And then like they don't send me a dick pic, but it's like, here's dick butt. It's like, okay, all right, that works. Make sure you're not catfishing me.
Yeah. Dude, I don't even have 700 on TikTok. A lot of my TikTok videos, because I put music in them because it was like my actual work videos and stuff. Like when I was doing videography, I put those on TikTok. All of their fucking sound got taken away. And I noticed I had one video do well since I started doing stuff again, like well-ish. And then all of them are capped out at 200, like in the 200 realm.
Yeah,
that's
the fucking thing. I don't know how to get out of that. Like that's got to be some fucking throttling that TikTok's fucking doing, because a lot of people fucking complain about that.
I'll hit
like enough where it's like a fucking thing.
I'll hit 200 in an hour and then not get another view.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, that's some weird TikTok throttling shit they're doing. I'm not. I have an idea to get out of it, because I think what they want to do is, what they're trying to do is the exact opposite of fucking what Instagram and Facebook's doing, to where like on Instagram and Facebook, it's like you're getting capped out here, give us money, and then we'll let you go further. And I think TikTok, what they're doing is, we're going to cap you out here, but if you sell stuff in the TikTok store, we'll like unleash this and let it go unlimited, which I would really like to do. But every time I apply for it, they're like, yeah, you got too many community guideline fucking violations to apply for it. And then I'm like, I haven't broken the fucking rules in a long time, man. I'm Googling. It's like, well, it depends on where you're at. It might be 90 days, might be 120 days. I'm like, well, I did have a video get taken down around Christmas. So maybe next month we'll see.
Dude, start selling your books in the TikTok shop.
Yeah. I would like to do that, but I have to get cleared from community violation fucking restrictions first.
Here's the thing: is I bought hat from the TikTok shops. Where's my the hat with the yellow mesh in the back that I have, like the fucking. You know what hat I'm talking about? Yeah. No. It has a patch right here, and it says Rim Reaper tongue deeper, and it's got the Grim Reaper tongue in an asshole. I bought that off the TikTok shop, dude.
Nice.
Actually most of the stuff I bought off TikTok shop, but they're all hats. I did see someone is trying to sell a repackaged version of The Self-Sufficient Backyard, which is just like a book that was written in like the 80s about like gardening.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck that. And they're like trying to sell it for like $60-$70. I went on Amazon and bought it for like 30. I'm like, first of all, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to fucking support who owns Amazon now. So I think it got traded or some shit again.
No, Amazon, I'm pretty sure is still Jeff Bezos.
Bezos isn't the CEO anymore. Whoever the fuck owns it. I'm not supporting some guy like that, but my wallet supports what I can afford.
Yeah, well, and the other thing is like there's like a fucking edge with that with the fucking I guess writers community, because it's like, oh yeah, no, we all hate fucking big corporations. Fuck Jeff Bezos. He's also the only way we make any fucking money. So let's not talk too bad about him.
Yeah, that is fair. I would have to say I think every one of these books in this shelf, which I have a large, I got my bookshelf sitting over here. The camera can't see it. If I turn the camera, it's just gonna hit the side of the bookshelf. Yeah. Which you have your books, Damian Larkin's books, Michelle Packard's books.
Which, by the way, fucking for those of you at home, if you're looking for good sci-fi and or conspiracy thrillers, the Aesop stories by Michelle Packard and Big Red by Damian Larkin.
Yes,
book recommendations.
I'm a big fan of any scene that has dub in it. With fucking Damian
so Big Red by Damian Larkin. The plot is kind of like at the end of World War II, the Nazis went to Mars, and that war is still going on, but it's like top secret. So they're recruiting people to like go fight the Nazis, but it's all kind of like a Blackwater Triple Canopy type situation that's kind of pseudo government, except for they don't actually send you to Mars. They like plug you into the Matrix, and then you're like, I don't know, hosting a robot surrogate body on Mars, fighting them, and it's there's a lot of like fun sci-fi twisty shit in there, but there's also just a good story in it.
Which I'm gonna point out, like, yes, I know that Avatar technically has been like they've been doing recordings and working on the Avatar Way of Water for like the last like 12 years. Yeah. But Damien Larkin's where they basically upload their consciousness, which that's a bit of a spoiler. I don't mean to spoil his book, but you know, this has to be said.
It's a bit of a spoiler, but it's also in the first 6 chapters. So I mean, it's not like
you'll figure it out. They upload the consciousness, and then they fucking download it into that body.
Yeah. Because it's it's like a real body. Just got you're just getting controlled by Wi-Fi from Earth.
Which I thought it was like they fucking
they like move your consciousness out.
Yeah,
like,
they
still like a
the
you
data
hanging
into the
out
brain.
in a fucking. There's still a you hanging out in a basement in London.
Yeah. But have you seen Avatar Way of Water?
No.
The new Avatar movie. The blue people, not the bending people.
Yeah.
All right. So basically they do that. You know, the original general that was the dickhead, which he was technically right. He was just following military orders, and he's like, hey, these natives, fuck them. We're here for resources, not to be friends with these fuckers.
Yeah.
Which, again, as an indigenous person, bad, but fuck it. But like he dies, you know, oh no, he catches an arrow because everyone's seen the original Avatar or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, he's dead. Oh no. And then it's like him dying alerts the protocol. There's a satellite in the sky and like above the that planet, and like his consciousness gets downloaded into the new body that's identical to his old body.
Okay.
So it's just like, yeah, okay.
Well, the other thing though is I heard that James Cameron got sued about this. I never looked into it, but there's a short story and it's from like the 50s. It's called Call Me Joe, and it's literally Avatar, except for instead of on whatever planet, they're on one of Jupiter's moons, and instead of blue people, it's blue centaurs. But it's the exact same fucking story, almost the exact same plot, except for the guy, the Marine with the fucking like fucked up legs, and the Colonel are the same character. But yeah, like it's enough to where it's like I heard they got sued. I didn't look into it, but it was also like dude, if they didn't get sued, that's kind of weird because.
So I'm still waiting on a lawsuit for. There's a video game company that essentially ripped off an indie author about Sumerian temples and all this other things. I'm still waiting on that lawsuit to happen one day.
Yeah, my problem with that though is I went and talked to lawyers about it, and they were all super fucking trigger happy, like a concerning amount. And it's like, do you want me to like tell you what happened first? And they're like, oh yeah, you should probably tell me what happened before I do this. And it's like, but you're already fucking filing shit. Yeah, I'm pulling out. I don't trust you being that trigger happy. And like one of them was like, well, I took a thing all the way to the Supreme Court. I'm like, oh shit, okay, let me go look that up. She didn't mention that she fucking lost. But the thing was, she represented somebody who wrote a story about a fucking what was it? It was like a cactus that wanted to be like the world's best Christmas tree. So it moves from Texas to New York, and then its bad guy is like a fucking FICA or some shit. And then it decides that it doesn't need to be the world's best Christmas tree because it solved its own mental problems through the power of love, and then went back to Texas. And they pitched that to fucking Nickelodeon. And Nickelodeon made a movie where there is a cactus from Florida that goes to New York because it wants to be the world's biggest Christmas tree. And the bad guy is a fir. And then it decides it doesn't need to be the world's biggest Christmas tree because of the power of friendship. And the Supreme Court decided that, yeah, no, those two aren't close enough to like, award anything. So it was like, all right, if that didn't get it,
yeah,
my options are be mad about it or be mad and lose a bunch of money.
Also, how much money did this fucking Nickelodeon thing make? Because I have a kid and I am also an adult that watches cartoons. Not just anime. I'll watch cartoons. Bluey's dope as fuck. the we'll skip that. But no. Like all that, I was like, I don't even know this Christmas tree shit. So, and my kid loves cartoons. Well, actually, my kid loves animes. Dude, oh my god. Solo Leveling. Did I send you the video of Solo Leveling, or was it just Dylan?
I think it was just I don't.
All right, so I'm gonna. This is a little bit of spoilers for an anime. If all of y'all are fucking,
it's called Albert. It's a hour-long Christmas special. Like it was a one-time thing.
I might check it out.
Yeah,
but so Solo Leveling is a really good anime. I'm already invested. Basically, it's a reverse isekai where like, hey, this is the real world. All of a sudden, these portals are opening up, and basically, when it opens up, you like all these people just randomly start getting magical powers in the world, and you have a rating for magical powers. And these portals open up, and if you don't clear the dungeon monsters come through. So people just start like there's normal Jeff who's running a jackhammer. There's fucking Brittany working at Aeropostale. And there's fucking Gary working at McDonald's, but all of a sudden Gary, for some reason, just starts getting magical fucking powers. And it's like, hey, all of a sudden I'm badass as shit, motherfucker. And now Gary's like, you know what? Instead of working at McDonald's, I'm gonna go in this dungeon. I'm gonna fuck up some goblins. And also if I get paid heavily if I do. If I don't go in here, and also if no one else fucking takes care of this dungeon, then the fucking ogres are going to come out and start murdering random fucking kids on the street. So it's like, all right, cool. The main character, dude, has like just enough magical powers to become an adventurer. Right. Which means he has none. He has zero skills. But because he has zero skills, he is constantly panicking, so he's hyper aware. Which leads him to this biggest dungeon. He almost dies, but he gets the ability to level up. He levels up, not his magic. His magic's still there, but his dexterity, his constitution, his fucking strength, everything else, he could just do these daily challenges. So it's popping up like a video game for him. Anyway, basically, he becomes high level as shit really quickly. And there's just this scene, and I'm going to send you the scene, and my son loves this scene. Because it's like this other group of adventurers, they're just like, they use him as bait, and they're like, look, there's nothing you can do about this because you're just a weak little bitch. And the dude puts his arm around him, and the character's just like, basically gives him well, that's where you're wrong, bud. Takes his knife and just decapitates him. And he's just like, poof, like blood. It's graphic. It's horrific. And you're just like, oh. And then he gets a daily challenge of kill everyone that's trying to kill you. And he's just like, all right, bud. He uses his good old people opener and just goes at it. And it is like, me and my son have been watching it, and I have to say it is like, because you know me, I'm a big fan of isekais. This is by far.
So what did you think about Last Action Hero then? Because that's an isekai, right?
We've already had this conversation. I fucking love that movie.
Okay, all right.
I love the fact that during the height of the Stallone-Arnold era, Stallone in a movie had to be like, Sylvester Stallone, the best action hero. And it's just like, you're like, oh, dude. Because, like, they didn't become friends until the 2000s.
Yeah.
So it's like, that was when, like, they hated each other.
Yeah.
And I love it. That made me so fucking happy. And on top of that, to be or not to be. Like, we've watched that scene. There's been many times.
It's so fucking good.
Oh, God. I'm going to throw that out there. You can stream, like, a full movie onto, you can stream onto Discord if you ever want to have fun with your Discord people. Yeah. That's the first movie I'd watch. Because I'd plug in for that one because that's a good movie.
That is a great fucking movie.
Oh yeah.
Also, people at home, if you haven't seen Last Action Hero, watch it. It'll fucking change your life.
Another great movie, and you can if people can hate me for it, but John Giglio, whatever the fuck, Gigliomi, whatever how you pronounce it.
Liziguiamo.
Yeah, Romeo and Juliet.
Oh yeah, no, that was fucking great. Although most people don't say that; they say it's the fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. Fucking
yeah, but yeah, I don't give a fuck.
I just love how there's like word for fucking word Romeo and Juliet, and they just like took liberties with shit. Where like, no, all their guns say sword on the side. So
9mm sword. I fucking love it. Peace. I hate the word. Dude, that scene, the gas station scene. If you want to know a really good Shakespeare, just watch the Romeo and Juliet with I guess fucking DiCaprio, which he's a major part of it, and it's like yeah, obviously he's Romeo, but
well, you know, it's funny though, because like if you go back and read Romeo and Juliet, like I mean, it's not that Romeo and Juliet are side characters, but they're almost side characters in that play.
They were a product of everything else that is happening.
Yeah.
There is a war going on and someone's falling in love. And that's just what's happening. Which, you know, was it Tybalt, the Prince of Thieves or Prince of Cats? That's it.
Yeah.
Tybalt, the Prince of Cats. Dude, fucking, he's got some banger lines. I'm just saying.
Yeah, dude, there's a lot of fucking like Shakespeare that's I think goes underappreciated for like two levels. Like one, you had to read it in high school, so you fucking hated it and you never gave it another chance.
Or you got too pretentious with it and thought you were cool because you recited some of it.
Yeah, and the other thing is like 90% of Shakespeare is dick and fart jokes, like even the fucking serious shit, like and a lot of it doesn't translate now because the humor and slang's different. But like if you like get the spark, like I suggest reading fucking Shakespeare with the fucking spark notes or like the fucking like cheat fucking books or whatever the fuck they are, because they have the notes on the side where
Cliff Notes.
No fear Shakespeare. That's the good one. And I think Cliff Notes makes those. But they'll do the shit where it's like, hey, here's a paragraph of what this guy's saying. Here's a little sidebar. He's talking about his dick. Here's a little sidebar. He's talking about killing him. But like, you wouldn't get that out of that sentence now, you know. But they also have it like page by page, where it's like, this is page one, the original, what he's saying, and this is it in modern English.
So I learned this a long time ago. This was like a rant from one of my. I had a history professor in college, and they were talking about how during Shakespeare's time in like, you know, during his time in the UK in England, the British accent hadn't actually been developed.
Yeah,
they talked more like what you would consider U.S. people, which means that when Shakespeare came from a podunk town.
Yes and no. So the thing on this is it sounds more like aristocratic Virginians and like South Carolinians. So like whenever you hear somebody like, oh, that's from Virginia, or that guy's from South Carolina, not North Carolina, but South Carolina and fucking Virginia, it's like that's the accent they're talking about. It's not all American. It's not this flat American accent. It's the, you know, fuck what you think of General Lee saying.
But so this is what one of my professors said, which I can't remember this professor's name for a day of my life. I've had too many of them. But their fucking big funny joke about it was so Shakespeare was actually from the sticks. He was from a podunk no-name town originally.
Yeah.
So technically, how he would have wrote it in his own brain would have been a little bit closer to a Southern accent.
Yeah.
So if you start reading Shakespeare with a Southern accent with dick and ball jokes and fart jokes and shit like that, it opens a world of, but like, first of all, I think Shakespeare was probably great for his day, but go fuck yourself. He stole stuff from like older plays. Like,
I mean, everybody always does that though. Like that's a fucking continuing fucking thing. The big difference is he made it for a Western audience. Because a lot of the stuff he took was like old Greek myth that like you read it and you're like, okay, I guess that happened. So he would take the bones of that and then like add fucking drama to it, or like there was historical stuff that he ripped over, like Macbeth. almost happened word for word, minus the spooky shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, we're just gonna dramatize fucking this for that.
Which still one of my favorite lines from Macbeth is always gonna be no what is it? Dude, I'm gonna fuck this up. You know, I'm gonna claim this. You know, maybe I could change the not drunk enough, but there's not enough water in the ocean to wash the blood off these hands.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's a fucking banger right there.
Did you know that Macbeth is also why Lord of the Rings happened?
No.
Okay.
So I'm here for it.
You know how in Macbeth there's that prophecy where like, you know, Macbeth's gonna rule until the trees come and take the fortress, and he thinks that it's like, oh, when the forest grows out to it, and then what ended up happening was everyone just got the branches and like, you know, uses it as camouflage, and then like, you know, use that to infiltrate it. Well, apparently when Tolkien was reading it, he's like, that's bullshit. The actual trees should go kill him. I'm gonna go write a goddamn fuck you, Shakespeare, and that's why Lord of the Rings happened. I mean, it's not all of why Lord of the Rings happened, but that's a big part of why Lord of the Rings happened.
Okay, you would know this better than anyone. I've been seeing a lot on TikTok because I'm on like fantasy TikTok a lot. Yeah. That Lord of the Rings is technically a Christian play.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is it really?
Yeah, fucking. So like, the religious fucking system in it is exactly like fucking Judeo-Christian fucking either fucking, I don't know if I want to call it that religious system or that mythology lore or whatever, but like there's one God. The bad guy Satan character used to be an angel of God and then fell and took a bunch of angels with him. And then angels both, or I'm going to use the word angel as for like angel and demon, just like this level of fucking, you know, other fucking deity type thing. They operate in both fucking strange and weird ways, but they also interact on the mortal plane, working for big God in both like, you know, big demonic form, like say like, you know, the Nephilim would, or like shadowy fucking creature form, like we think of like demons and like spooky stories and shit, or like fucking a lot of people don't fucking remember this for some fucking reason when I'm talking about Christianity, but like there's a lot of angels in the Bible that like you don't know are an angel till the end of the story. It's like, oh, the whole time this guy was actually an angel, which is what Gandalf is fucking doing. Like the wizards are all angels. Yeah. Like same thing with the fucking Balrog and shit.
Yeah, I was about to say Balrog was technically a fallen angel.
Yeah, so he followed the Dark Lord after the Dark Lord got kicked out of heaven. And then like even fucking Sauron wasn't the devil. Sauron was just an agent of the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no. I do. When I say that, like the TikTok, I'm talking about. I've gone on. I've probably watched 20 something odd, fucking at least 3-minute long, fucking TikTok frenzies on fucking Lord of the Rings, which has been. I don't know whether it's popular now or it's just showing me.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been around because I kind of weave in and out of that. I had a thing, and I'm not going to get spoilery for the rest of the Smoke with Fairy Tales books. Here, just a little glimpse of some shit. But I was like, yeah, no, I'm pretty much the modern day Tolkien. Fuck JR, fucking, who's the fucking, fuck George R.R. Martin. Yeah, fuck that guy. Yeah. I'm the American Tolkien. Fuck him. And somebody's like, really? Is your stuff Christian literature with trees? And I was like, well, my aliens are pretty much trees with tits. And yes, it is very Christian literature. Fucking, I'm sorry that it's told from the point of view of a sinner.
Yeah. Which, oh God, you know what? I'll sidebar that fucking thought.
Actually, you know what? Fucking, hold on, give me a second. We're an hour and a half into this. We're full spoilers for the rest of the series. Everyone watching, you've been warned.
You have a spoiler alert button?
Yeah. I got it on deck just for this.
Okay. We'll go to it. So this is like I'm not fucking up by like telling like a spoiler, which this isn't like a main
no. Well, look, this is spoilers for all the fucking books. Like only the first 2 are on YouTube, but the other ones are out and people can read them. And I do know that there are people that watch and listen to this who have already fucking read the whole fucking series, so they know what's gonna fucking happen.
Okay.
So full spoiler. Hey, anybody watching at home, if you haven't read past the first two or listened past the first two, we are talking spoilers for shit after that in the series.
Dude, I'm talking spoilers from the final book.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
All right. So Jesus came back in Europe. Or yeah, I'm assuming like
the old, everywhere besides the Americas.
Yeah, everywhere. So that's where the Graceland, he came for 1,000 years. And then it fucking ended. Dude, I remember when you were talking about that, it had to have been like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Which that was probably like a late night fucking Discord session.
Probably.
But like when I read that, I was like, good. I'm glad. I'm fucking happy that fucking happened. Which also, I will have to say, you were able to weave, which not an easy thing. You're able to weave so many like the fucking goddamn gins and goddamn what's it? What the fuck are they called? The fucking the Japanese Onis. Was
Onis,
it Onis?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're weaving different fucking creatures from different religions into the afterlife as a mapped out astral plane that is a flat plane of north and south.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, hard. Which I also like the idea that so I came across a lot of fucking, I don't know whether you'd call it science fiction, fantasy, whatever, like, you know, the afterlife thing. Oh, this supernatural thing is like, oh, we have to have answers. We have to have this. The answer sometimes is, nobody fucking knows. Dude, we're just here. We're vibing. We're here. Yeah. There's some Nazis. We might kill them. Shit's happening. Fuck it, I'm gonna make some fucking drugs and some alcohol. Look, that's about the best currency I got right now. And you know, I like that because I don't think everything has to be answered, and you don't answer. You answer some important shit. What's up, dude?
Yeah, well, no, I answered the important shit, but like the other stuff where it's like, no, this might just be better as lore. Okay, I'm gonna acknowledge that this is here. The characters are like, what the like the thing with that fucking mercenary group was keeping in hell, and why the boatman owed Stockton favors. Like they ask, and then like the chapter ends, so the characters know. You just don't, and I don't know either. I'm gonna let your fucking imagination fucking fly with that one.
Yeah. Sometimes this is gonna sound like a cliche. Sometimes the best writer is the fucking reader's imagination.
It is really fucking because like I've had a lot of fucking books that were ruined by the fucking author just over explaining shit. It's like I didn't need to know. I mean, neat, I guess, but like, goddamn, get on with it. I don't need to know every little fucking thing.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take another piss.
Okay.
And then I probably got more spoilers.
Okay.
Since you've given the alarm.
I gave the alarm. And fucking, I think that's fair. Plus, you know, fucking, we're an hour and a half into this. Fucking, go take your piss. I'm gonna keep ranting at the fucking computer. So, yeah. Which, by the way, if you haven't read all of the books and you're still here for some reason, thanks for hanging out. You know, I have noticed that some people like the fucking spoilers, like before they fucking get to it, so they kind of know what they're going to be getting into later. I don't know. That's just something I've fucking noticed. I'm kind of iffy on that. Like sometimes, like I don't want to know a damn thing about a story before I walk into it. I want to be surprised by every like fucking left fucking step. And then other times, you know, somebody will fucking detail a fucking story to me. Like, hey man, you gotta watch this movie or read this book because this happens and that happens and this happens. And then it's like, oh shit, well fucking if all that's gonna happen, I gotta see what all them fucking middle ground shit is. And then like I'm sure we'll talk about some spoiler shit though. But one of the other things that I like about my books is I could tell you the entire fucking plot about what's going on in it. And that doesn't even really spoil anything because the real story isn't the plot of what happens. Like the real story in my books is like the character interaction between, you know, what's going on while these people are on the way from point A to point B to point fucking C. Right?
Yeah, point A, point B, point C. This is Pete. This is Two-Toe Pete. You can't tell. One of his paws literally has 2 toes. He lost them. He's on a rescue pity. He doesn't like being picked up. Not that it's like he gets upset. It's just I think he's scared.
Oh,
okay. You can slump down. There you go. You like sit right there. He just likes to be next to him. He's gonna do tonight while I'm up here on his camera is he's gonna come up here. He's gonna hang out with me, and then he's gonna walk down there and check on Jamie in bed, and then he's gonna walk over to Sammy's room, and then he's walk over to Gabe's room, and he's literally just gonna pace and make sure everyone's okay because he is a sweet puppy. He's a good guard dog. I think he is a wuss. If someone did break in, he might cry.
Poor boy.
But he's gonna let us know that someone's there, and that's the important part. I've got things to solve, home intruders.
Yeah,
I just need to be known. But yeah. So you are one of the few people that I've ever read that had just let, you know, people would be like, hey, dude, I don't fucking know the answer. Or, you know, also the answer is told when the chapter's not talking about it.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, that's a bold take that I feel like people could really use better. I think some people feel like the reader needs to know everything.
Immediately, like right now.
Yeah.
Or like it's slipped in a line of dialogue later, like fucking when they're talking about the demons that are in hell, when they're at that fucking restaurant just fucking pigging out, eating the fucking Loch Ness monster and T-Rexes and shit. They're talking to the monk, and they're like, he's like, yes, there's demons in hell and shit. Like, well, how's that work? I thought, you know, all the demons and Satan and his angels have been cast in the pit. He's like, yeah, we don't have any idea what the fuck they actually are, but it could be one of these things. And it tells you in that fucking conversation exactly what those fucking things are. You just have to have like this much fucking critical fucking thinking ability to get to that part later. Like, why are there demons here? It's like, remember when you were talking to the monk and he said it was other fallen angels, or not other fallen angels, or like just like regular angels that were pretty much just like guards.
Yeah. No, and I think there's a few things from your books that I still misinterpret.
Like what?
I don't know. There's got to be something.
Okay.
Because I am not a smart person. I'm not
either. But I wrote that. Well, you don't have to be smart to write. You just have to sit, put your ass in a chair, and do it. Like, I don't know why people think you got to be big brain to fucking write.
Well, I mean, dude, Twilight got a TV series, or movie series. Yeah. So I mean, you don't have to be big brained at all. You got to be just creative enough and say just the right. I mean, it's luck and a little bit of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I'm a lot of luck and a lot of bullshit, which is, I mean, I would have to say, it was literally one of your YouTube podcast. Do you call them podcasts?
I mean, I guess technically they are, but I don't know what the fuck a podcast is anymore. Because originally a podcast was a broadcast that you played on your iPod, but no one listens to broadcasts anymore, and no one has a fucking iPod anymore. So like the term is kind of fucking moot. So like, what the fuck is a podcast?
Yeah, you know? I mean, so I'd have to say the one that fucking got me was I was late to it, by the way, because I thought that, like, when you said, hey, it's going to be 2 p.m., I was like, 2 p.m., cool. And then I was like, oh, shit, 2 p.m., his time, not my time, because we are an hour different. And I'm late. I'm also still, for legal reasons, I had not started drinking until I got on the podcast. But I hauled ass all the way to my buddy's house, which was I was renting a room before I moved up here to Tennessee. It was in my transition to up here. But it was you, Michelle Packard, Damian Larkin, and all three of y'all literally just like, just write something. Just, you could do it. Just write it. And I was like, no, I can't. I fucking can't. And then I think it took a fucking year. And I was just like, I think I'm going to, like, because that had rattled in my brain for a full year.
Yeah.
Which this was like 2 years ago. And I was just like, you know what? I think I'm going to do it. I started writing one thing, hated it, decided this is stupid. I was like, this is the worst fucking idea ever. Started writing something completely different, and now I'm having an absolute fucking blast.
Oh yeah, no, like fucking. You also can't be afraid to like throw away your shit. Like the first book that I wrote that would have been the 7th Smoke with Fairy Tales novel, I fucking hated it and threw it out. Like fucking, like gone. Like and then I sat down and rewrote what would end up being the 7th one. But you can't be afraid to fucking toss shit.
Yeah. And the first one, I think it got out some of the things I needed to get out, which is a weird thing to say, but like I think I was actually like, I think the original thing that I was writing, which was fucking wild, which I think I've told you a little bit about it, but like if you were to read this incoherent babble, I think it was mostly therapeutic.
Yeah.
I don't think it was actually a good story. I think I was just getting some shit on paper and fucking vibing with it. And then I was like, all right, cool. And then I was like, all right, what the fuck? I don't remember what originally sparked it. But I was like, I think it was literally, no. I know exactly what sparked it. I was writing the thing that I was like, this sucks. I hate it. How can I make this actually good? And then I started daydreaming about like shooting at dragons.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, I was sitting here vibing with it. And then I turned on
Rain of Fire.
Yeah, that movie. And I was like, oh, dude. And I was like watching, I was like, dude, this sucks. Like, I was like, obviously, if you load up a 50 cal with slap rounds, what the fuck is it gonna not go through?
Well, I mean, that's a thing that I don't think a lot of people fucking take into consideration when they're writing, though, is it's 100% okay to watch something or read something like that sucks. I can do it better, and then do it better.
Dude, Mashal, prime example. Basically, they took, I don't know, I think I've talked to you a little bit about it. It's now on Crunchyroll. There's an English dub for it. I highly recommend it. If you want, I can actually send you the manga. I have the manga. Just, send them back. I like having them here. But basically, you've seen One Punch Man, or have you read any of it? Okay, you know how strong and stupid he is?
Yeah.
Take that intelligence level of 6 and put it to a 4, but keep the strength and make him Harry Potter. Basically, he has no magical powers, but he's strong as fuck. And then he's stupid, dumber than a fucking box of rocks. Absolute idiot. And basically, that's his stick. And they send him to a magical school, so he can become the Grand Wizard or some shit like that. And like, dude, there's some scenes that are absolutely phenomenal. Where like one of the headmasters, you're like using like some social connections. You'd be like, "Oh, you can't do anything to me," blah blah blah. And he's just like, "I'll just kill you." And so he starts digging a hole around him, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "I'm killing you because I got to get rid of the body, so you might as well be in a hole." And the guy's like, "What the fuck?"
Did you ever see an anime called Guns? So it's about it's like a school girl drama, but all the girls, they're not girls, they're guns that have to go through school before they get allowed to become a piece of equipment used by whatever military. And I think the way they set it up is like elementary school is all pistols, middle school is all like fucking submachine guns, and then and like assault rifles, and then high school kids are all battle rifles. And if I remember right, the main character was an MP5 and her bigger sister was an FNFAL. And yeah. And but obviously Yeah, and obviously, they look like, people, but like it's assumed while you're watching it. It's like, oh no, this isn't a person. This is an M16. And they act as such. It was fun. Except for there was this because it's an anime, you had to have the fucking perv fucking arc where the high school girls all got rid of their wood stocks and got the skeleton stocks. But the way they translated that was they stopped wearing like granny panties and started wearing thongs. And that's how that fucking translated
stupid. Fucking stupid.
The if I remember right, I don't remember if it was the FNFAL chick or the M14 chick, but one of them was like, no, that's dumb. You want the whole stock, and here's why. And then like that was its own fucking plot element. But
what the fuck? Dude, that reminds me of like Bobobo, which you know that, right? Okay, good. We've had this conversation. I know
we've had this conversation.
But anybody watching out there in the internet atmosphere, Bobobo is a fucking fever dream that I feel like there's probably some people that watched a couple episodes and just thought it was a fever dream. Because that show was fucking crazy. I still know that it's like $70 to buy the entire box set, and I need to just pull the trigger on that because I spend dumber money on stupider things. But I never finished that series, and I feel like I need to.
Yeah.
Because that is fucking crazy. But you mentioned guns. It's called No Gun, No Life, I think is the name of the anime.
Okay.
The dude's basically augmented into having like the head of a revolver and the hands of revolvers.
Okay.
And there's guns and there's gunmen. And for the longest time, you don't really hear about the gunmen because like he never fires his head.
Yeah.
But like his hands can shoot a little bit, but most of it he's a detective. Actually, he's not a detective. He solves problems. He fixes things. But then it goes into this big epic arc on his backstory and, the original war and why it was happening and all this fucking some crazy shit. But there's like, out of all of it, it's very well written. It's very interesting. But there's something about it that always fucking catches me. Is the dude always is smoking as a gun.
Okay.
Don't think too much into it. But the thing is because the augments fucking hurt the actual human side of his body, the carbon and nicotine from like basically the smoke itself helps lubricate, so eases the pain.
So he's Bender from fucking Futurama.
Yeah, he has to continue smoking because it keeps him from hurting.
Okay.
But I'm like, at the same time, yeah, been there in the smoke pit. Shit. And he's just like, at one point, he's like, he smokes like the harshest cigarettes. They talk about it in the anime. They actually talk about it. They're like, he smokes one of the harshest cigarettes. And then it's like, yeah, because it's the best way to get fucking like the smoke in me. And I'm like, yeah, that's why I smoke Lucky Strikes. Is the best way to get nicotine in me. And like that filter blocks some of that sweet, sweet nicotine, which I'd be smoking now if Jamie didn't ban smoking in the house.
That happens.
I respect it. I'll smoke on the front porch. I'll smoke in the garage. I'll smoke on the back porch. No smoking in the house.
Did you ever watch an anime called Corpse Princess?
No.
Okay, so real good. It's only like 20 episodes long, so it's kind of like a quick burn. But the plot is there's vampires, and vampires cannot be killed except for another kind of vampire that's effectively Blade, but instead of it being Blade, it's got to be a 16-year-old schoolgirl, and she has to use Mac 10s.
So Blade is not the fucking tax crime?
Yeah, sure, I guess. And it's funny because like the first half of the series is like, imagine what I said, but like it's whimsical and funny and like, fucked up and stupid. It's like, whatever. I see what you're doing. You're just doing Blade with schoolgirls and a lot of fan service. and then like the last half of it's like all plot, and it gets real fucking dark, and you're like, oh, why would you start this anime like this and end it like that? Jesus Christ, I didn't cry. I didn't cry. All right.
I give you an anime that you will cry to. I don't care who the fuck you are. And I've told you about this anime, I know, multiple times. Japan Swinks 2020.
Yeah.
First off, have you seen it? Have you watched it yet?
No. I remember you talking to me about it, but I haven't.
Dude, I don't care if I have to give you my Crunchyroll. I don't care if I have to. You need to watch it. All First off, I think it is a 1-season anime. But that thing hits like a fucking freight train, like a Kiriga Kill or whatever the fuck it's called, where they kill like bro guy or whatever the fuck, and like they're not like there's animes that are not afraid to kill. This is a spoiler for this anime, not for your books. But hey, look, I'll spoil some animes. They are not afraid to kill the people you love in the book. There's like 5 very specific scenes that will kind of fuck you up a little bit. There's one scene that I remember when it happened. I had actively said I fully quit smoking. I had stopped, which now it's kind of laughable. But I was like, I wasn't smoking at all. When I was drinking, I wasn't even smoking. And the scene happened. And this is funny, is the one of my friends recommended this show to me, and he's like, you have to watch it while I'm here though, because I need to see your reaction. And I had like 2 days off from work, and we literally binged the entire thing, and he watched it with me while watching my reaction just to see it. And like we stopped, I found some cigarettes in my for some reason after the scene I knew where the cigarettes were. I found them. I went outside and I smoked like 4 of them, and I was like, God damn it. Because it made me feel. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I was like, all right. And like after, I think it was like 4 cigarettes, I was like, okay, I'm going to finish this show. And then I just watched the rest of it, and I was like, dude, don't ever fucking recommend another thing to me again. And it was good. I have to say, it is well written. They know exactly how to take someone away from you. They know how to whoever made it happen did very well. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, on that, we are at about the 2-hour mark. I'm gonna wrap this up. Do you got anything to say to the people on the way out?
Read his fucking books. I guess.
Well, I mean, yeah, naturally that.
Don't fucking kill your local pedophile. Don't eat the yellow snow, and you can turn right on red, and you can turn right on red faster if there's not a cop there.
Yeah.
That's about all I got. That's the best advice I can give you.
All right. Well, on that though, fucking, if you want to hear more of his beautiful voice, stay tuned for the Paragon of Man, Smoke It Fairy Tales 3, where he returns as Fowler. It's a good time. It's a good book. It's a fun book. And then we'll be back doing this again. I think in August is when the 3rd book should be wrapped up. So
that's my birthday.
Yeah.
And my kid's birthday, and my girlfriend's birthday. And her son's birthday. Actually, all of their birthdays are the same day.
Oh, fuck! That makes it a lot easier.
Oh yeah, dude. Very expensive month.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that, thank you, people at home, for watching. You all have a good one. Fucking long nose. Thanks for fucking hanging out. All right, Simper.